Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Town Board of the Town of Ossining regular meeting for Tuesday, March 10th, 2020. Please rise and join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Councilmember Feldman,
Present.
Councilmember Shaw,
Present.
Councilmember Meyer,
Present.
Councilmember Wilcher, Supervisor Levenberg.
There I am. Okay, so we're going to start with some announcements. And guess what we're going to talk about? You guessed it, coronavirus. We're continuing to monitor coronavirus cases in Westchester County and neighboring communities with the help of county officials and state and federal agency guidelines. Out of an abundance of caution, we have decided that effective Friday, March 13th, the senior nutrition program that operates out of the Joseph G. Caputo Community Center will transition to offering only home-delivered meals. Congregate meals in the dining room and all other senior events and programming have been canceled for the foreseeable future. Our program staff is working around the clock to notify all seniors and their families that will be impacted by this change so we can continue to offer quality and nutritious meals to our most vulnerable population during this uncertain time. If anyone has any questions about this change, please do not hesitate to contact the Senior Nutrition Program at 914-762-1350. We understand that people are very concerned about the health and safety of their loved ones, and we encourage everyone to seek information and updates from official sources to avoid inaccurate or out-of-date information. And literally, information is out of date by the second. Out of second. The New York State Department of Health has set up a hotline at 888-364-3065 with staff on standby to help answer questions regarding coronavirus. Westchester County's 211 service, operated by United Way, is also activated and ready to answer questions. And I think that they've also added additional staff for 211. Additionally, we would like to remind everyone that vulnerable populations such as seniors are best protected when the people around them make healthy choices, including staying home if they believe they exhibit symptoms of any illness, not just coronavirus. If you or a loved one needs medical attention and has any symptoms, coughing, trouble breathing, etc., call first before going to any urgent care facility or ER so they can give you proper direction to be seen in a secure area. We'd like to remind everyone that there are simple steps we can all take to curb the spread of this virus and other seasonal illnesses like the flu. I'm sure you've heard a lot of these already, but it bears repeating again and again. Be sure to wash your hands with soap and water for at least 20 seconds. Sing happy birthday 2 times through and you'll get there. The use of alcohol-based hand sanitizer can be used if soap and water are not available. Cough or sneeze into a tissue and throw the tissue in the trash. Try to avoid touching surfaces that others may have touched by either wearing rubber gloves or using an elbow. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. If you are sick, stay home. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects and surfaces like your cell phone, doorknobs, keyboards, computer mouse, using a cleaning product that contains bleach. These simple day-to-day actions can truly save lives. We note that Ossining schools and the Joseph Caputo Recreation Center remain open. We do not feel at this time there is reason enough to close the buildings or cancel programs outside of our senior programs. However, we will continue to provide information to the community as decisions are made. Please be vigilant and stay tuned to our e-blasts, nixles from the Ossining Police Department, messaging from the schools, county, and state, and we've added a dedicated resources page at townofossining.com where we are compiling all the information that we gather and the messaging, and we believe that anything that would be helpful to the public, including e-links to those sort of resources, are also available. Also, there are many events across the county that are being canceled right and left to prevent the spread of illness. Please check with event organizers ahead before attending in case of cancellation. Now for some upcoming events, and even as we just finalized this, events were being canceled, so I'm going to tell you about those as I get to them. Village of Ossining Summer Camp registration opened on Monday this week. Kids ages 3 to 14 can be enrolled for fun activities like swimming, sports, and arts and crafts from the end of June to the beginning of August. Spaces are limited, so visit the Village of Ossining Recreation online community catalog to sign up, and we will hear more about that in a little bit from Bill Garrison. The Greater Ossining Chamber of Commerce had 2 scheduled meetings this week. Tomorrow at Tasty Table at 21 Camp Woods Road, there's an 8 a.m. meet and greet, and that is Wednesday, March 11th for Ossining business owners. The iNetwork event, however, scheduled for Thursday evening at Terra Rustica, has been canceled. On Friday, March 13th, you can stop by Maya Riviera at 518 North State Road for dinner and live music from the Mike Risco Band, who will be donating all earnings from the evening to the Ossining PTA. There is no cover for this event, but it's requested that you make a reservation to reserve your spot, and we hope that that will continue as planned. Saturday, March 14th is the official 2nd annual chili cook-off fundraiser at Sing Sing Kill Brewery. This year's fundraiser will support the Ossining Under-11 travel baseball team as they raise money for a trip to Cooperstown, New York. The cook-off is from 4 to 7 and is $10 per person, or a great deal at $20 per family. We just learned that the Repair Cafe that was scheduled to be at the community center this Saturday from 11 to 3 has been canceled, so please skip that one. And hopefully we will have some new dates in the near future, but I will say nobody is rushing to reschedule dates, as we really don't know what the extent and date and time is going to be of this epidemic. Finally, 2020 census invitations will be arriving in the mail next week during this time period from March 12th through March 20th. Keep an eye out in your mailbox for an invitation to respond to the 2020 census online or via phone. And we've discussed multiple times at this meeting how important it is to respond to the census. Each household will be receiving a unique number that corresponds with that housing unit. All households are encouraged to respond through these remote methods, telephone or online, upon receiving the invitation. And that's good news that this time around we have all those options, especially in light of coronavirus. Census reminders will be sent out, and as a last resort, in-person census takers will be knocking on doors in a few weeks, but obviously it would be best to avoid needing those visits. And that's it for my announcement. If we have any other announcements, I'd just like to reiterate that the town and the Village of Ossining, and I know also the Village of Briarcliff, have been meeting round the clock about updating all of our policies and procedures, making sure that all of our public spaces are clean, and finding ways for everybody to interact with local government and continue to the best of our abilities so that everybody can be safe and healthy. If you do have questions, though, please feel free to call my office at 762-6001. With that, do any of my colleagues have any other announcements? Okay. Hearing none, we have 2 departmental reports this evening, and John Hamilton, our building inspector, is up. Number 1. Hello, number 1.
Good evening.
How are you?
Very good. You'll be pleased to know I'll be extremely brief.
Oh, thank you.
From January to now, we've issued 61 permits. Those 61 permits, we did 158 inspections. We've also done 23 fire inspections, 11 accessory apartment inspections, 2 tree permits, 216 alarm permits, and 26 title searches. The revenues from January to March are $195,060. Some major projects that just had their building permits issued is the ASPCA up on North State Road. They're going to be demolishing the buildings that are there now pretty soon.
They're just an SPCA, though. Just you have to drop the A.
Oh, really?
Just S. Yep.
The SPCA.
That's it. Okay.
The Learning Center on North State Road has been clearing the land now. They have the building permit. And Thornton Hill on Hawks Avenue, we're just in the process of issuing an additional 4 building permits on those lots there. Projects that were already approved, as we know, Artis has been completed. Parth Knowles is progressing very well onto the 2nd building. Matter of fact, I'll be going there tomorrow to do the steel structural inspection for their pool. And Morningside Drive, we have one lot that's before the Architectural Review Board right now. We do have 3 projects that were approved. They just never came back for building permits. That's up on Croton Dam Road for 1 new house, 74 Hawks for 1 new house, and 2 Hillcrest Drive for 1 new house. They were issued approvals quite some time ago, but they haven't come before us yet. So we've been moving along and handling the items as they come in.
Gotcha. And we know that we've asked that you take extra precautions
Mhm.
also
Mhm.
when you're going into homes, that you
Right.
call ahead, make sure that there's nobody sick,
Mm-hmm.
and to avoid going into anybody's house if there appears to be somebody that is.
Right.
And we just want to reiterate, and we're also doing extra cleaning of our counters and making sure that people, when they do come into the building department, we are the village, I think, just sent out an e-blast today that they are moving to online permitting and applications. The town is also going to be moving in that direction. We had already approved a contract, but they started with the village, and the town will be next. And we're looking forward to having those opportunities for applicants in the town as well.
Right. We started giving the company our data. They will be integrating it from Unicity into the new Simprosity program, and we'll be moving along. We're setting up everything the way we want it. We're trying to keep everything as minimum as possible, make it as easy as possible. We will have a kiosk on the counter for people that are having trouble. They'll be more than happy to have them come in, and we can show them how to do something, or we'll talk to them on the phone when they're doing it at their computer, and we'll work it all out when the time comes. It'll be a little challenging for some people, but once they get the hang of it, I think they'll be happy.
Fantastic.
For all that you do.
Fantastic.
Town.
You have a great staff also, and we are very
They
appreciative
do.
of them.
They were great staff. Take
All
care
right.
for them very much.
Okay.
All
Thanks
right.
so much.
Thank you.
Thanks, John. Next up, we are going to hear from our Recreation Superintendent, Bill Garrison. Please tell us some good news, Bill. How are camp registrations going?
Good evening. Camp registrations were great. Actually, we were a little bit ahead compared to last year at the same time. So we had it busy. Most of the people took advantage of the online process, so that the people that did come to the community center to register in person have the long lines coming out the door. We were maybe 2 or 3 people deep, and we were able to take care of them pretty quickly. So that was good. We have a new staff member, Veronica Roche. She started on February 9th. She's a recreation supervisor. She's the supervisor for the evening program and on Sundays. So that's been a great addition to the staff, somebody that we've been waiting for a while to help with some programming and additional supervision in the evening time at the rec center. On Sundays, we opened, at the end of January, opened the community center. So we're now a 7-day-a-week operation. We added extended time to the pool. Currently, the pool was open. Well, prior to this, the pool was only open from 1 to 4. So now we have the pool open from 9 to 4. The gym is open. We've got currently baseball is using the Sunday gym Sunday mornings. Then we have open gym in the afternoon. We're looking to increase programming in there on Sunday, adding some fitness programs, more youth programs, and trying to really open up the community center 7 days a week with full programming for all people of all ages. We've got some really, spring registration opens up next Monday on the 16th, and we've got some really great programs in the catalog. A couple new programs. One is actually called Family Zumba, and it is a free program. It's actually being funded through the Westchester County Youth Bureau, and it's money that the town received to run a youth bureau type of program. That program is going to be on Saturdays, and the idea of that program is to get kids and moms and dads in the gym, dancing, moving, having fun, and we want to just try to load that gym up with as many people as we can to get them fun and having exercise.
But not while there's coronavirus.
Yeah, so we had to consider that, and
Not
I'll
too
talk
many
about that in a
people.
little bit.
Okay. Not loading enough.
We've got a couple other programs. Our TOTS program, which is a TOTS time that we started over the winter, was really popular. It's a open gym type of thing, so we can bring the TOTS and parents can hang out and socialize. The kids run around. We're adding another one of those programs. So we're going to have 3 TOTS.
Middle to the New York State Department of Environmental Conservation for program year 2019-2020 at an amount not to exceed $2,500.
Do I have a motion? Second. So annually, we are required to prepare a report for the DEC on the town's stormwater management practices. For the past several years, we've used the services of Dolph Rotfeld Engineering to help prepare and complete this report. And we're excited to be working with their team again and kick off our annual reporting process very soon. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed?
2019 year-end budget adjustments. Resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Austining approves the following budget adjustments for the year 2019.
Do we have a motion? So moved. So in advance of our auditors coming in April, our Deputy Comptroller, Dale Ferreira, has been hard at work ensuring that our budget for fiscal year 2019 balances out. This resolution will help clean up our prior year expenditures and revenues, ensuring they are allocated to the correct budget lines. Thank you so much, Dale, for all your hard work. You're the best. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Okay, memorandum of agreement between the Town of Austining and Local 456 International Brotherhood of Teamsters, AFL-CIO, covering the period January 1st, 2020 to December 31st, 2023. Be it resolved that upon the recommendation of the Town Supervisor, the Town Board hereby approves a memorandum of agreement between the Town of Austining and Local 456 International Brotherhood of Teamsters, AFL-CIO, covering the period January 1st, 2020 through December 31st, 2023, and authorizes the expenditure of funds consistent therewith, and be it further resolved that the Town Supervisor is authorized to execute a collective bargaining agreement covering the period from January 1st, 2020 through December 31st, 2023 that is consistent with the terms of the memorandum of agreement.
Do I have a motion? So we are pleased to learn that our employees who are part of Teamsters Local 456 collective bargaining unit in the town of Austining voted to ratify a new 4-year contract. We thank Kevin Moore, who is the unit shop steward, for his leadership and hard work, and he's also our highway foreman. And he's been doing such a great job, and we just thank him on behalf of the unit. Look forward to continuing our good working relationship now and in the future. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? So moving on to correspondence to be received and filed, we have none. And our monthly reports.
Resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Austining hereby accepts the following monthly reports for the month of February 2020. Town Building Department, Tax Receiver's Office, Town Clerk's Office, Town Supervisor's Office, Dale Cemetery, and Highway Department.
We have a motion?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And now we have come to visitor recognition on anything whatsoever. Is there anybody who would like to comment?
Jeffrey, 100B Morningside Drive. I was not going to come here tonight, but he had to, so I'm here.
Hello.
Which led to a perfect opportunity to actually come and speak. I was going to come and speak the regular meeting after the work agenda where the solar farm people came, but you guys had the shortest meeting in history and I didn't make it in time. So, forgive me for my memory because it's been a few weeks, but a few things came out to me in terms of that presentation that you guys had. I noted that the individual, the gentleman who spoke, who a couple of weeks ago I remembered his name and now I don't, was asked about why he or the business chose that particular location for, and his answer was that there was no real reason other than the seller of the property was a motivated seller. That's really kind of what brought it up to their horizon. And so there wasn't an issue of this is the only kind of place where they can be near whatever type of grid. I don't claim to know a whole lot about this industry, but I also noted that it didn't sound like there were going to be a whole lot of people within the community specifically who are going to benefit directly from this. And it seems to me that there seems to be something, in my opinion, very wrong with taking a residential area, cutting down at least 500 trees. They say 487. I have learned that developers never give you the right numbers. So we're talking about that's the minimum that they're saying. In order to put in a different sort of renewable energy. And I have to believe that while this is an important thing to do, that there has to be a better place and a better way. Whether the town can take a look at any type of buildings or partnerships with private entities to put on roofings, whether there's a way of working with this particular company to do it in a different location. Just looking at it from the pure placement of where this would be and what it would take seems just the wrong way to go. The other thing is there was a conversation about how to engage the public. And I think some of us have learned, and I include myself in this, that when we send things to the planning board in order to have a conversation, to have them have the conversation, where then the public goes to the planning board and doesn't feel like they can speak there because it has to come back to the town board, may not be the way to go if you're going to talk about how public engagement or public meetings go on this. It sounds to me to be a better idea to ask the community to get engaged and come to you guys first before you drag any company through. And or if you already determine that this is not the right place, then make that determination quickly instead of causing this to go on. I think the way you guys wrote the law, and I was not on the board at the time, but I remember coming in front of you at the time, it says that you guys have the ability to decide on a floating, on a tier 3, I think that's what this was. So you can decide quickly. And I just think that most people are not going to agree that cutting down that many trees in a residential place sounds like a great idea for this project. So I just wanted to share that. I also want to say that, interestingly enough, the school sent a blast. They're sending lots of blasts, but not too many. And this one was about how much children can be scared about this whole illness issue. And I noted that I would just like the town to do something which is try to balance between providing transparency of information on what you are doing and not doing it so much that every other word out of your mouth is coronavirus and causing the very panic you're trying to stop. Because my personal opinion is that the president is not paying enough attention and that our governor is giving too many briefs. Like there's got to be a middle ground. And I've got kids who don't necessarily need to hear it every single second of every single day. And that's what's happening. So I applaud your efforts in terms of keeping people safe. I appreciate it. I just want you to know you're saying it a lot. And so are other people, and it's causing a anxiety level that may not be necessary. Yes, wash your hands, be careful, but let's live our lives, guys. So that's all I want to say. Thank you.
Ew. And even though you did make that comment, I would like to say last thing because I just received this message from our police chief, which is that there was a rumor about our local McDonald's that it was closing due to something related to, I won't say the words, but you know what it is. And that is not true. There was no store closure and no incident. So I want to make sure that that's clear because we don't want any of our businesses to get harmed if there's no reason for that to happen. And for the same kind of reason that Ms. Jeffrey just said, we think that people do need to continue to remain calm. And I think that what we've been trying to do, even though I admit that I do carry my little hand sanitizer around with me, and Councilman Welcher grabs it from me sometimes because I overuse it. We do know a lot about the virus. I mean, we don't obviously have all the answers and all of the ways to contain it down to a science yet, or we wouldn't be talking about it so frequently. But we do know that it doesn't really necessarily affect young people that much, so that's a good thing. And it tends to affect people who are older or have compromised systems. So those are the people that we're seeking to protect, and we're seeking to do our best to contain more spread. So everything that we can do to keep our spaces open and safe for the people who use them, we will continue to do, and we will follow all of the recommendations from our from authorities that are above us, from the state, from the county, from the Westchester County Department of Health, which is where we do get a lot of our information, from the hospitals and all of the other good resources that we have at our disposal. And we'll work together to make sure that we keep everybody safe, that's our job.
I'd like to add one more thing. People seem to be not ordering Chinese food, which is the silliest thing. Our Chinese food restaurants have reported that they are getting much less orders. People are worried that it's just crazy. Anyway, Chinese food restaurants are fine.
And I heard today, we were talking a little bit, and actually it was our village manager, Dottori, who mentioned some friends of hers who live in Rome and who are making it their business that when they can go out, that they go out and patronize all of our local businesses, because we really want to do our best to make sure that our economy doesn't suffer. So anything that we can do to keep up business as usual, we should do. And we just need to be vigilant and be smart and be careful. I think that's probably it. Does anybody have anything else to add or any questions at all? So with that, I would just ask for a motion to go into executive session for personnel, contracts, and advice of counsel. Oh, did you have is there another comment? No, he didn't have any comments. He just had to listen for, I think for his community engagement or public. Is it for the scouts?
Communication merit badge.
Communication merit badge. Do we have to sign anything before you leave? Oh, you just
Awesome.
have to, okay, well, you have to read that whole thing through word for word before you get your badge. I'll be there. No, just
We
joking.
just read it for him.
Okay. Anyway, thank you so much. Everybody be safe, smart, and have a great week, and we will see you. Oh, was there a motion? I'm sorry. Motion?
So moved. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Okay, so we'll see you next week. You're at 16 Croton Avenue for a work session. Have a good night.